Imagine a single acre of land. In Burgundy, France, this acre can sell for over $2 million. Some prized parcels have sold for an astonishing $16 million. Now, picture a different acre, this one in California. Here, growers are being forced to rip out tens of thousands of acres of grapevines. They are letting grapes rot unpicked because no one will buy them. This is the central paradox of the global wine industry today. It's a tale of two completely different economic realities existing side by side. By the end of this episode, you will understand the hidden forces driving this divide, why some vineyard land is among the most expensive real estate on earth, while other seemingly identical land is becoming worthless. The value of a vineyard is a complex tapestry of climate, history, and law. In California's Napa Valley, an acre can cost anywhere from $100,000 to over $600,000. Cross the Atlantic to Bordeaux, France, and that figure jumps to around $800,000 for top-tier land. In the Champagne region, an acre will set you back about $600,000. But the absolute peak is Burgundy. Here, the famous Grand Cru vineyards average more than $2 million an acre. To put that in perspective, the value is so extreme that some transactions are calculated based on the price of a single vine. Meanwhile, in Spain, the economics are far more accessible. An acre in the Rioja region costs around $30,000. In Penedès, a center for cava production, it's closer to $16,000. The disparity is immense, ranging from the price of a luxury car to that of a private jet for the same sized plot of land. But buying the land is just the entry fee. The real work and cost is just beginning. Planting a new vineyard from scratch costs between $35,000 and $60,000 per acre. That covers preparing the soil, installing trellis and irrigation systems, and purchasing the vines themselves. Then comes the wait. A newly planted vine won't produce grapes suitable for quality wine for 3 to 5 years. For half a decade, you are pouring money into the ground with almost no revenue to show for it. This is where we arrive at the central, counterintuitive truth of this entire industry. A vineyard's value isn't really about the grapes, it's about legally protected scarcity of the land itself. This single idea explains everything that is happening in the world of wine right now, because the industry is in the grips of a crisis. Global wine consumption has plummeted to a 63-year low. In the United States, the world's largest wine market, revenue has fallen by over 20% since 2020. The market is drowning in a glut of unsold wine. The reaction has been drastic. France is now paying its own growers to destroy their vineyards, offering thousands of euros for every hectare of vines they agree to uproot. So far, they have approved the removal of over 27,000 hectares, an area roughly the size of a major city. In California, the situation is just as dire. Growers have removed nearly 40,000 acres of vines in a single year, with experts calling for even more destruction to rebalance the market. The result of this oversupply is that bulk wine prices have collapsed, falling from over $30 a gallon to, in some cases, less than $10. If you find this look into the hidden economics of the wine market valuable, take a moment to subscribe. We regularly uncover the surprising forces that shape industries you think you know. The financial pain of this crisis isn't just theoretical, it's leading to corporate ruin. Stick around, because the part where a major publicly traded company goes bankrupt reveals just how deep this rot goes. In July of 2024, one of California's largest wine companies, Vintage Wine Estates, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Weighed down by over $400 million in debt, the company, which had gone public just a few years earlier, was forced to sell off its portfolio of well-known brands, names like Clos Pegase and Girard. It's not an isolated case. Smaller producers like Saran Vineyards have also filed for bankruptcy to avoid foreclosure, caught in the same unforgiving market squeeze. So why are growers in California going bankrupt while a landowner in Burgundy sees their asset appreciate? The answer lies in that core insight: legally protected scarcity versus an oversupplied commodity. The exorbitant prices in regions like Burgundy, Bordeaux, and Champagne are a direct result of strict appellation laws.
In France, the Appellation d'origine protégée, or AOP, legally defines everything: the precise geographical boundaries, which grapes can be grown, how many tons can be harvested, and even how the wine must be made. This creates a legally enforced, finite supply of land capable of producing these world-famous wines. Demand, fueled by centuries of prestige and a global luxury market, consistently outstrips this limited supply. The land, therefore, is treated less like an agricultural asset and more like a piece of fine art. Its value is divorced from the annual fluctuations of the grape market. Conversely, many commodity regions lack these rigid protections. They are built for high-volume production. When global consumption falls, these areas are the first and hardest hit. They become flooded with an oversupply of grapes and bulk wine. Without the brand equity of a protected appellation, there is nothing to stop the value of their land and their crop from collapsing. They are competing on price in a market where the price is in free fall. The land is valued only for its agricultural output, and when that output becomes unprofitable, the land's value plummets with it. To understand this in practical terms, let's imagine two different owners. First, consider the commodity vineyard owner. You own 100 acres in a high-production area. Your business model depends on selling your grapes to large wineries. In the current crisis, those wineries don't renew your contract. The open market price for your grapes is now less than what it costs you to farm them. You are faced with an impossible choice: harvest at a significant loss or let your entire year's work rot on the vine. Your land, once a productive asset, is now a liability. Now, imagine you own a scarce appellation-protected estate. You have just 5 acres, but they are inside a Grand Cru appellation in Burgundy. The value of your land is largely insulated from the global wine glut. Why? Because the demand for your specific, legally defined, and extremely limited wine remains strong among a core group of global collectors. While you still face the normal challenges of farming, your primary economic asset, the inherent scarcity and prestige of your land, is protected by law. Your investment isn't just in agriculture, it's in a globally recognized luxury good. The romantic dream of owning a vineyard often collides with the brutal economics of a global market. We began with the stark contrast between a multi-million-dollar acre in Burgundy and an abandoned vineyard in California. It's not a mystery, but a lesson in value. One sells a story, a history, and a legally guaranteed rarity. The other sells a fruit, and in today's market, the world has decided it simply has too many grapes.